Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Sorry I'm a bit late with this preview video for the game against Melbourne. I think in my last video I promised to do it yesterday, but I was just caught up with work, so doing it today. So I'd like to talk about our preview game against Melbourne this Sunday, 3:15 PM at Marvel Stadium. Looking forward to that game. Before I commence previewing this game, I'd first like to acknowledge a sponsor, which I did in my last video. I'd like to acknowledge them again. Sai Sri Foods, as you can see the banner on the top corner. Sai Sri Foods are a very well-known manufacturing company in Australia and around the world that provides amazing dough to make some amazing Indian steamed pancake and fried pancake as well. They're also well known to sell good quality yogurt and freshly made, along with some lovely cold Indian beverages, salted and sweetened drinks. So feel free to look them up on the internet if you want to know more about what else they manufacture. But they're a very well known manufacturing company, and I really thank them for being our sponsor in this channel. The other top banner on the other top corner is Roki School of Excellence. This is a tutoring school founded by my wife and myself. My wife looks after the administration side of the business, like the enrollments and sending receipts. I look after the class component of the school. It's an academic tutoring school and musical as well, where private and group tutoring is offered for years 5 to 12 mathematics, as well as drum kit, Western drums, the Indian octopad, which is an electronic percussion instrument, and some South Indian classical drums. So feel free to get in touch with me if you have a child or anyone who might be interested in this enrolling in the school. Enrollments are widely open, and we'll be happy to accommodate you into the school or anyone who might be interested. Okay, now on to the game. It's a last game of the round at the 3:15, 3:20 slot, and I would just say it's a game of two teams outside the 8, which might look dead rubber in the context of the season, but it's a game where you can to still prove a point. Okay, Melbourne, barring their win against North Melbourne, have also been pretty below average with their performance. Have not lost a lot of games in the last 2 months, and one of their losses was against the Saints not long ago. Now, Alice Springs, where St Kilda won by 28 points. Bad kicking from Melbourne and good pressure from St Kilda was a reason St Kilda won the game. St Kilda, on the other hand, since the Bulldogs game, have been very competitive and very promising against the teams playing for finals, whilst not quite getting the job done. Can't fault their commitment, can't fault their effort. And the latest game that can prove this point is the Geelong game last week. 31 points down at Cardinia Park, where a team who plays that game, the ground so beautifully, has the fortress, or that ground as their fortress, and are known to put away other teams convincingly. They had a good chance to put the Saints away, but the Saints did not lie down. For those who saw the game, you'd know what I mean by that. So this opponent, Melbourne, who have not quite been at their best this year, is a chance for St Kilda to stop the honourable loss trend, you would think. At Marvel Stadium, St Kilda's home deck, the home crowd behind, surely this is a game that St Kilda have a chance to buck the trend, the losing trend, competitive losing trend. Looking at the lineups, Melbourne have got some couple of big outs, notably their defenders, Jake Lever and Stephen May. Stephen May especially due to suspension, but I've got some players back like Tom Sparrow and Harry Petty, but I've lost a few as well. So Stephen May and Jake Lever's absence no doubt will be felt. When you think of Melbourne's defence, it's about, you've got to get past those two. So this gives the St Kilda tall forwards like the Mitch Owens, Mason Woods, Cooper Sharman's chance to float around a little bit and apply that pressure. Okay, St Kilda's lineup, it's not very big in terms of height, but we've got some good inclusions that can stretch them as well. Good to see Jones back. I know people will be questioning why is he back. Must have done some good things in the VFL. Good to see Lance Collard back with Dan Butler out with injury, and Ari Schoenmaker, young bloke, second year of player. Chance for him to sort of take the field and just show what he's got for us. It looks like an evenly matched up game, but on form, regardless of the number of losses and wins, you would think St Kilda should be able to get the job done. But again, that will only happen if they put in their effort and, bring the pressure that they've been bringing the last few weeks, to be honest. they can do that. They have a good chance to get the 4 points and buck this honourable loss trend. And it's not just against Melbourne. St Kilda have got a couple of games against oppositions around them on the ladder. The North Melbourne, or below them on the ladder, North Melbourne, Essendon, Richmond. So this is a chance for St Kilda to extend some of their, extend or add to their number of wins for the year so far. I'm not saying it's going to be walk in the park, but you know, there's a good chance St Kilda can add to that, provided they bring their pressure, the good things that get them the win, to speak. One matchup that's going to be really intriguing is probably the Nasaya and the Kasaya. You know, you think of St Kilda Melbourne, the Nasaya versus the Kasaya. Who would you rather be? Look, both players are terrific, informed players of the competition in their respective teams, and once they get a roll on, they can take the game away on their own. Naz, though, is very talented. Can play up the midfield, as we saw last week. Can play down back. Can kick a few running goals, set shots. You name the roles he can do it. He's that sort of utility player. Cozzy Pickett can be very good up the forward. So this is a chance for St Kilda to really try and get reward for effort, to be honest. Against a team who I'm not saying should be taken lightly, but a team who has not been meeting expectations. I mean, Melbourne, there was a lot of positive talks about their off-season last year, what they can do to shape the 8. It's nowhere to be seen. Okay, St Kilda, on the other hand, are building very nicely for next year and beyond. It's very obvious. Forget the results. Results might show, but in terms of adapting to a system, getting some players in, some big names potentially, and having a big off-season this year in terms of player movement, you can envisage a very, very good contest on Sunday. Now, it all starts in the middle, just like any other game, the Gawn and the Marshall. Gawn might be getting older, but very good at giving his players first use. If St Kilda could win the clearance, like as they've been doing, and tidy up their entry to the 50, because that's been the real letdown the last few weeks, no reason why they cannot win this game by a few goals, and it's a very, very good chance to do so. Melbourne, with their forwards, except Cozzy Pickett, Bailey Fritsch has been okay here and there. Jack Viney's been up and down this year like a yo-yo, and a couple of their other senior players. Petrarca's been alright, but not the Petrarca he was during when Melbourne won the flag. So, and last time all these players except Viney were there, and St Kilda won it quite easily. Okay, so it'll be won and lost in the middle, no doubt. And where St Kilda is very good is their pressure. They'll get players behind, suffocate the corridor, congest the pathway, and not let Melbourne transition the ball. Where Melbourne can get used with very good kicking and good foot skills. But if St Kilda sharpen that, bring their pressure, and not take the game lightly, they're a very good chance to get this points. And there's no reason why they're not. If you look at the football tips the last few weeks, the last few days, majority have tipped the Saints to win, being at Marvel. So there's no reason why they can't get the 4 points. Okay, so it's a very crucial position, the centre, where the game can be won and lost. And the backline, I'm not really worried because it's led by Wilkie, got Caminiti there, Alex Taru, get more game time into him. Then you got the halfback flankers, your Stockers, your Naz, your Sinclair. No Webster, should be back in a few weeks, but that should be really enough to cover that. And in terms of the midfield, you got McRae, Steele, throwing your Hunter Clark, Zach Jones there to provide a bit of speed, Brad Hill on the wing with no Wilson there, and then you got your half forward line. So just get numbers back, put pressure, and make sure that you put the pressure on and have the foot skills accurately. Okay, so I think I'll leave it there. Not much to preview. Not because it's a dead rubber game. There really is not much to talk because both teams have been similar in performance. Though St Kilda have been looking more promising the last few weeks in terms of their effort and being competitive. So on that note, I'll leave it there. And my next video will be after the game to review it, talking and dissecting how the game went. And yeah, feel free to subscribe to this channel. Feel free to circulate it to friends, well-wishers who might be interested in football or in my channel in general. And yeah, feel free to get in touch with me if you're interested to enroll in this tutoring school, the Roki School of Excellence. We'll be happy to accommodate because enrollments are always open throughout the year until we get fully booked. And yeah, take care. Have a lovely Friday night, lovely weekend ahead, and I'll speak to you soon after the game. Take care and bye-bye.